Well, then 1 year later, your friend, once again, Biggie, he gets killed in Los Angeles.
Terrible, horrible. And, let me just say, man, like, we have to stop killing our Black leaders. And even though you just look at these people as celebrities, they leaders in their communities. They're leaders in other communities. They're setting an example of success. They're taking people out of poverty. We can't continue killing our leaders. Like, and let's not stop there. Like, they assassinate a lot of artists at this point. Like, you don't have to die to be famous. And I keep saying that. Like, that's what I teach these kids, man. You do not have to die to be famous. That's why I have a nonprofit organization, Special Ed Arts and Literacy. And that's my whole point in doing all of this, is because it's getting real deadly out here and tumultuous for our youth, our children. These people are teenagers. You understand? And they out here murdering each other. This is sad. This is sad. It's biblical. You understand? This is biblical. So they murdered Pac, they murdered Biggie, they murdered Pop Smoke, they murdered Nipsey Hussle, they murdered P&B Rock. They just murdering people left and right. And it's not just one place. They murder Offset over here. They murder Young Cheese. I mean, they're targeting someone with any kind of success. And that's not fair. That's not fair to the growth of their careers, to their families, to their children. Like, we can't behave like this as a culture, as a people, period. We have to stop that. It's not even, the CIA assassinating us no more. We assassinating ourselves within our own culture. Like, this is unacceptable. And something got to give, man.
I mean, yeah, the number of rappers that I have interviewed that have died violently is absolutely mind-blowing when I think about it. From Mo 3 to Young Greatness to Chinx Drugs to BTB Savage, who died a couple days after we released our interview. Like, it's just, no, I don't think I could go into any other genre and do this many interviews and have that many people die in any other genre. Not in country, not in rock, not in R&B, not in business, not in sports. I've interviewed tons of athletes, from Rodman to Tyson. None of them die violently after the interview. But in hip hop, here we are. I talked to Pop Smoke a couple days before he got killed. We were planning an interview. Like, it's really just crazy and sad.
I tell you what it is, Vlad. It's programming. We've been programmed to not value our own lives. We've been programmed to murder each other. We're being programmed even by ourselves. Admissibly, it's like we're getting the bag and being paid to make content that is detrimental to our own existence. We're programming our own children to hate themselves and to not value our lives. Yet we value the lives of everyone else, even dogs, even animals. You can't say nothing about no other race, no animals, no nothing. But you could kill a nigga all day on record and go to number one. You could get a Grammy for that. So that is the problem. And this is systematic, and it has been going on for decades. It has been going on for decades. So after a certain time, some of these artists and these children are born into this. They're born into a climate where we have no value for our lives. We have no value for ourselves. We have no value for our women. And we just all around no value at all. We're valueless. We're like empty souls. And the music is perpetuating this message over and over.
Well, yeah, I remember I just interviewed Leor Cohen. And I had been talking about this for about the past year. So I brought it up to him as well because it hits close to him with being the co-founder of 300. And I said, look, you have all these crazy lawsuits that happen. A mass shooter shoots from a hotel, the hotel gets sued, and they have to pay $100 million to the victims and so forth. When you look at some of these artists that come out, like a Young Thug and so forth, who are, dissing their enemies and talking about violent acts, that some of which is based on reality, do you think at one point the victims are going to start suing the major record labels and saying, you guys are promoting and marketing these lyrics and making these artists big, which is causing actual violence? And if one or two of these labels get sued, will that make all these labels say, we're just going to stick to a different genre from now because this is too financially risky for us to do? And his answer, listen, he's political. He said, well, I just feel the legal system is messed up in this country and so forth. He didn't necessarily want to address that. And I understand why. He's the head of YouTube Music Global, right? But I honestly think that's what it's going to take, where at one point, Universal is going to get sued because of something they put out. And that's going to make everyone say, okay, we can't stop this genre, but it's going to have to turn into an independent genre. It's no longer going to be a major corporately endorsed genre, just like, Pepsi or the Super Bowl is not going to put up someone talking about killing people in a commercial.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying?
And you do have a point there, and I agree. I agree there needs to be accountability from the people that are investing into these artists, that are backing them, supporting them, signing them, and being a part, because they're being a part of this conspiracy. So they have to be accountable. That's the only way. Otherwise, everyone's just profiting from it, and that's going to continue. So we have to find a way as a culture to stop it, or else it's not going to stop. No one's stopping and no one's saying anything. And once again, that's why I'm out here doing what I do. That's why I go to the schools. I talk to the kids, because if I don't, who's going to explain to them that this is not what hip hop is about? Respect yourselves, loves yourselves. Like, there's no message of positivity going out there that's being exalted, uplifted, or broadcasted or marketed. Everything being marketed is surrounding death and destruction.